Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the National League South Roundup. So this weekend in the league there were some massive upsets, some big results at the bottom and top of the league, so without further ado, let's get straight into the roundup. So the first game to take place and the massive shock of the weekend was Billericay Town against Hungerford Town, but the away side stunned the home fans and went out 2-1 winners. Things were all going rosy for Billericay 50 minutes in when they won a penalty and Adam Coombs, the former Hampton man, stepped up and comfortably tucked it away. However, going into the last 3 minutes of the game, Billericay would like to see this out. However, Aussie Dodoma won Hungerford a penalty of their own, which he stepped up and comfortably put away himself to look to snatch an unlikely point for the away side. However, the drama did not end then, as in the 92nd minute, the latter, Aussie Dodoma, stepped up again to score and send their away fan, probably very few away fans, into raptures as they nicked all 3 points from Billericay in a massive smash and grab and a massive win for Hungerford. Billericay, on the other hand, it's going to be gutting for them, as their playoff place looks in serious doubt now, with Wealdstone on their back and Concord on their back too. Like I said, Hungerford, there's a massive result for them. They're now only 1 point from safety in 20th, as Truro in 19th on 35, Hungerford on 34. Billericay still stays 7th, but Wealdstone are just a point behind them in 8th on 57, and Concord are only 3 behind them in 9th on 55. So a massive result for Hungerford, which turns the relegation battle into scrap and puts my team Hampton back into trouble, but I'll get on to their result later. Puts a lot of other teams into trouble like Eastbourne, Dulwich, Gloucester and Truro, who are in massive trouble. The playoff charge is getting really interesting now. Wealdstone a few weeks ago, you think, have no chance, but they're now only a point behind Billericay, and Concord aren't exactly either. So yeah, it's massive, this league, it's changing week in, week out, but a massive result for Billericay there. The second game, which I thought was potential of a banana skin and another upset, was Concord Rangers, who went up against Torquay United. And after a really tight encounter, both teams going at it, Torquay managed to nick a late goal in the 71st minute as Cameron gave them all 3 points in a 1-0 victory. This wasn't easy for Torquay by no means. Concord are a brilliant side, and they're really tough to break down, especially at home. And they gave them a real good throw and they put up a real good effort against the goals, the league leaders. But just that late quality in front of goal proved just too much for Torquay, and Torquay were just more clinical in front of goal. And Cameron just gave them all 3 points, and a massive win for them. As Woking, as you'll probably know, slipped up, and I'll get to their result later on. A massive result for Torquay, as they're now top, 2 points clear of Woking with a game in hand too, so it looks as though the title is in their hands and looks as though that you can just etch their name on the trophy, getting ready to present it to them. However, you never know what can happen in this league. It's mental, as I've said loads of times before. Concord 9th on 55 points, 3 points off the playoffs, Billericay in 7th. They could still get it. I think they're in a real shout. They're a real underdog this season. They've been absolutely brilliant with Sammy Moore at the helm. I think they could still do it. I hope they do as well, because they're a really friendly club and they're punching above their weight massively. But massive result for Torquay. Concord still in the mix, however. The next game between Dartford and Hampton and Richmond Borough, my team. And just before I start, I want to say massive round of applause and well done to Alec James and Chris Hurst, who walked them I can't remember how many miles it was, from Hampton to Dartford on Saturday. They left at 2 o'clock in the morning and got there about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I believe. Massive credit. They've raised a lot of funds, a lot of money for the club, over £1,000 for the club, which is absolutely massive going into the transfer budget. And their efforts were rewarded with a great 2-2 draw at Dartford, which however does feel like a defeat, but I'll get to that later. So Hampton, you would say, took a shock lead in the 6th minute when the corner from, I believe, Casey McLeod was crossed to the back post, and Ollie Sprague volleyed it in and gave us the lead 6 minutes into the game, sending the away fans into raptures. And it stayed that way for the first half and the majority of the second half, when on 59 minutes, Dartford won a penalty, and Charlie Sheringham, son of Teddy, stepped up and put the ball into the net to level things up. However, 9 minutes from time, Chris Dixon broke through and gave Hampton the lead to make it 2-1, and you think we could hold out and this will be a massive win. However, heartbreak came in the 92nd minute when Darren McQueen equalised to a goal that took a very scrappy and very dirty goal that took 2 deflections and beat debutant in goal Ashley Maynard-Brewer, who we actually did sign 2 new players. Ashley Maynard-Brewer, who had a solid game apart from the dodgy goal, but I don't think he could have much about it. And Jordan Simpson, who was on loan from Forest Green, who also had a solid game. Maynard-Brewer was on loan from Charlton, by the way, both on initial month loans. But yeah, I can see why this may feel like a defeat for us. It was disappointing to concede so late on. However, I'm sure anyone would take a point before the game outside, so I'm not massively disappointed. However, it does put us in a slightly worse position than we were last time because of the 2 teams that have won. So we're now in 15th place in the league on 39 points, which means we're only 5 points off the drop zone actually now because of Hungerford's win. So it's not exactly good. A win would have been better, but again, a draw is a great result at Dartford, who are a tough team to break down. Them, in contrast, are 6th on 60 points, which has really dampened their chances of getting a automatic semi-final place in the playoffs. So they are 4 points off third, which are their rivals Welling. They're comfortably in the playoffs, only 3 points inside the playoffs though, so their playoff place is not secured altogether. So they see this as a poor result. Their fans seem to think they played pretty poorly, to be honest, but a good point at Dartford, I'd say, for us, and hopefully confidence going into next week's game at Hungerford, which is huge, but I'll get into that later. So good point for Hampton, not so great point for Dartford. This game that took place was between Eastbourne, Borough and Bath City, and these two teams played out a drab and dreary 0-0 draw. A pretty non-event here, which is a bit of a surprise. So I expect Bath to run riot against this poor Eastbourne side who are out of form, the worst form side in the division, really struggling under new manager Mark McGee, who's still yet to pick up a win. Jerry Gill's Bath side will probably be disappointed with the point, hoping they could get a win, especially our poor team like Eastbourne. No disrespect to them, but they were, as I said, the worst form team in the division. But that point has dropped Bath to 5th, now on 63 points, which is not exactly damaged their chances of getting the automatic semi-final place. Still a point off Welling in 3rd. They're comfortably inside the playoffs, so I think they will get the playoffs. Eastbourne, however, still put them in big trouble. They're on 38, just 4 points outside the drop zone of Hungerford in 20th. They're in 16th, as I said, Eastbourne. Whilst it's like the Hampton game, so whilst they'll be happy with a point that I'm sure they've taken one before the game, they really need wins though to help them push them up towards safety. And the teams that did shut down and draw with Dartford and Bath, for example, the last 2 games, they would be disappointed they couldn't push up further into the playoffs. But I'm sure both two teams will take a point before the game, Hampton and Eastbourne. Especially Eastbourne, they've taken a point against this Bath side who are top scorers in the league and they've got a good defence as well. So it's a poor result for Bath, but again, a good result for Eastbourne, like the last game. So they hope they can take confidence going into that game and hope to get that first win under manager Mark McGee, who's desperate to get a win. Two teams who are in real poor runs of form and two teams who are real struggling at the moment were Hemel, Hempstead and Eastbourne United. The home team ran out 3-2 winners. A little ding-dong battle who twitched and turned each way, ended up in the home side when coming out 3-2 winners. So Amu gave Hemel Hempstead the lead 3 minutes before the end of the first half with a goal in the 42nd minute to comfortably give him the lead. And at this point you think it was a bit of an even game. Neither teams which I think would deserve their win. It's real scrappy, but Hemel got the goal and gave him the lead going into half-time. However, the dangerous Sam Higgins, who's been a brilliant force to them, Eastside over the years, equalised to them in the 61st minute, and then just a minute later, Ricky Hales gave him the lead to turn the game completely on its head, and angering the home side faithful and deepening in their woes even more. However, a penalty was awarded to Hemel in the 74th minute, in which star man and best player Jordan Park stepped up and comfortably tucked away. In just 7 minutes from time, that man Parks was alive again, and he's comfortably started home to make it 3-2 and give them the Tudors the 3-2 win, and a much needed win for them as well to just simply boost their chances of, well, I think they were safe anyway, just like ease any fears that their fans are having because they were on a terrible run of form, 10 games without a win. And Eastside, however, it's put them back in trouble again. They were on a bit of an up recently, but they've come back down and they're in big trouble again. They're now 21st on 30 points. 5th in safety, which is not good looking at all. Hemel, on the other hand, are 14th on 44. They're 10 points of safety. They should be safe, to be fair. I think they were. I don't think they were ever in any trouble. They were just struggling in a real run of form. But it's a good win for them. That should just see them safe. And Eastside, however, they're in big trouble and they need to start getting results again. Real turn-up was when Oxford City beat Dulwich Hamlet 4-1. Now, I did expect Oxford to win this, as Dulwich were pretty poor away from home, as that's what's let them down. But they ran riot in the first half at Oxford. They were 4-0 up at half-time. It all started in the 12th minute, where Thomas Asante gave the home side the lead. And then Luke Wiltshire doubled their lead in the 20th minute. And then 2 penalties from their star man, Kabongo Tishimanga, in the 24th and 41st minute, made it 4 behind at the break, stunning the home side, the away side. They were pretty poor for them, from what I read on Twitter. Their fans are pretty disappointed and pretty disgusted from what they saw, and the 4-0 scoreline stayed that way until the 91st minute, where Deepo Akinyemi gave Dulwich a late consolation to make it 4-1 and make the scoreline somewhat respectable. It was a terrible result for Dulwich, absolutely shocking. I'll be fuming if I was a Dulwich fan. And that result has put them in trouble again. They're in 17th place on 38 points, just 4 above the drop zone and 20th. Oxford are all but safe now. They're on 47 in 13th place. They're comfortably above the drop zone. They're 13 points safe. So just take Hemel. They were in a bit of a rut. They needed a win to boost their chances and just like get some positivity back. That's what they've got. They should all be but safe. All be but safe now. And yeah, so it's a good result for Oxford. Massive result, but it's a shocking result for Dulwich. Another game which saw a massive shock and a massive turn-up for the books was St Albans City 1, Gloucester City 2, where a clinical Gloucester club side completed a second half turnaround to see off the hosts. And the St Albans could have been ahead, scored 2 goals inside the opening 10 minutes, however, but Sam Merson was a well saved by Will Henry, the Swindon loanee at Gloucester. In addition, Solomon Sambu had a low strike which was deflected, which was denied by a couple of combination of keeper and defender blocks on the line. St Albans were unlucky not to be ahead more. However, Gloucester had a golden opportunity to score themselves, but Noel Williams, the son of former Watford striker Gifton, who was on loan from Oxford United, somehow put the ball over from 5 yards. On 32 minutes, however, St Albans came close when a corner fell to Sam Merson, obviously son of Paul, and finally, whose shot was actually crushed off the bar. The host finally went on in 36 minutes as Michael Clark met a Scott Shorten delivery and nodded home to give the Saints, you could argue, a probably deserved lead. However, they were way wasteful in the first half, and that was coming back to bite them on the proverbial in the second half, when Forest Green loanee Fabian Robert, who's been clinical for them this season, even though they haven't scored many goals at all, he equalised for them. He put the ball into the path of Jake Jackson, who turned and slotted home the equaliser. 12 minutes later, Noel Williams beat the offside trap and cross, and Robert put the ball into the net and gave Gloucester the lead, and eventually gave them all 3 points and managed to hold out. Massive win for the Tigers, puts them in a really good position now in the league. And St Albans, however, they're in a really struggling position now. They were in a good hunt for the playoffs after some good results in the past few weeks. However, this result has really dampened that. Gloucester, that result for them has now put them in a really good position to stay up. They're in 18th place. They're still in the relegation battle, only 1 point from safety, but it is in their hands. They're on 35 points in 18th. And St Albans, in contrast, are in 10th on 54, where they're 4 points off the playoffs. It's going to be really tricky now for them to get in. It's going to be out of Billericay, Concord and Wealdstone, I think. They've still got a chance, but results like this is a really damper them for them. They needed to win this massively to want to stay in. But it's a great result for Gloucester in their bid to avoid the drop. Another game saw a very impressive Chelmsford City side run out 3-0 winners in Cornwall at Truro Road, the home of Truro City. That result moved up to 4th, and they were rampant in this game. The Cornish club to a 3rd successive defeat, ending the match with 10 men as well after their goalkeeper Corey Harvey was red carded, and then had just a point outside the relegation zone. The first half was very scrappy. Both teams were pretty boring crap, to be honest. Neither side had much of it. However, the Visitors did break the deadlock in the 36th minute when the clinical Rhys Murphy stood home his 20th of the season after a Scott Finnick cross. Harvey Wright, the son of the former England keeper Richard Wright, did however to make a big save to deny the Cornishman an equaliser through Jared Lewington at the start of the second half. It proved a crucial stop as the men from Essex actually doubled their lead through Ches Isaac after he turned in Jazzy Burnham Bob's cross to make it 2. And just after that, it got even worse for the White Tigers, as their keeper was sent off for foolishly raising his Isaac, even though it did not seem malicious, as the Chelmsford man tried to prevent him from clearing the ball. Murphy easily tucked home the resulting penalty to wrap up the point and leave both clubs facing very different ends to the season. As I said, that's a massive result for Chelmsford, but for Truro it's a terrible result, but it was expected to be, as they had a very tough game in store. They're in a real poor run of form, as I said. They are only a point outside the playoffs. They're in 20th, I believe, in the 19th, sorry, on 35 points, just a point outside of Hungerford Town, the drop zone. Chelmsford in a really good position in 4th in the playoffs. They want to looking to get that automatic semi-final spot in the playoffs. 63 points they're on, just a point behind Welling with a game in hand, so it's in their hands to go up to 3rd. But Truro is a real massive result. I think they're going to go down, if I'm honest. I think they will go down. They seem to be dropping like a stone. The first half of the season playing at Torquay didn't help them either. But they're in massive trouble now. Lee Robertson, although he's a good manager, or what he did at Taunton was good. When it comes to Truro, you think it'd be a good appointment, but it's gone down the hill very soon in this last few games for them, and they're in big trouble. A massive win for Wealdstone over Chippenham Town gave them their first home win since January, as they ran out 1-0 winners. The only goal again came from Stephen Brown, who gave his first goal after a long injury break. And as Chippenham Town's goal drought continued, David Pratt, however, almost did give the Stones the lead early on, but Stones' top scorer fired over after picking up a thready Grant through ball. The right back Jake Shepherd came close on 20 minutes, but visiting keeper Brad House parried away the edge of the box effort. The deadlock was finally broken on the 31st minute when Stephen Brown finished cannoned in off the post, giving the Stones the lead. And 4 minutes later, it almost got even better from the home side when Shepherd's shot caught everyone off guard, but that was denied by the post but didn't quite bounce in. The top scorer for Chippenham, Nat Jarvis, almost equalised however, but his volley was just wide 6 minutes after the break. Freddie Grant, the former Oxford City man, didn't hit a vicious left-footed volley at the back post, but just couldn't find the target. House was forced into another acrobatic save with 15 minutes to go when he punted away super strike with his right boot, but that was enough to give Wealdstone the lead, give Wealdstone the win, all 3 points, and a massive bid to hopefully getting them into the playoffs for them. Let's put them in now 8th place, a point behind Billericay on 58, Wealdstone on 57. Chippenham, however, now sit 12th. They're going to stay mid-table. They're not going to go up or down. They're on 49 points. Then they're just going to just relax to the end of the season now, just have a bit of fun. There's no pressure on them to go anywhere. Wealdstone are in a real good chance to get the playoffs now, which would be unlikely a few weeks ago as they were like 5 or something points off Billericay. Billericay's form has gone downhill a bit, but Wealdstone are capitalising on this and they're picking up big wins, and that could be a massive win for them if they want to get in the playoffs. So they're the sort of wins you need. Massive win for Wealdstone here. The team rooted to the bottom of the National League South slumped to another defeat as Weston-super-Mare lost 1-0 at home to Welling United. And this would be seen as a real kick in the teeth for the Seagulls, as they were the pretty dominant side throughout most of this game. They had a lot of good chances, particularly in the first half, which forced Wilkes in the Welling goal into a save. Welling did have chances as well, which forced Purnell in the Weston goal into a save as well, but Weston did have the majority of the chances and will be kicking themselves if they didn't get anything out of this. Kiernan and Goldberg were dangerous for Welling, as were Pope and Lucas for Weston. However, a cruel blow to the hammer, cruel hammer blow for Weston. Welling were awarded the penalty 5 minutes from time when Aaron Parsons tripped Brendan Kiernan, the former Hampton man, in the box. Bradley Goldberg made no mistake and comfortably buried it, stealing a smash and grab for Welling. And this is the sort of luck that goes against you when you're in a relegation battle, and you've got to say that this has got to be all but, their chances are all but over of staying up for Weston now. They're rooted to the bottom of the table on 25 points. They're 10 from safety, played 36 with obviously 42 games got to be played. So that's 6 games to play, sorry. They've got 18 points they can only get. It's not going to be, they've got to win, pick up points fast, and it's very unlikely they will do so with what the form they're in. Welling, however, it's a massive win for them to keep their 3rd place automatic semi-final chances available in the playoffs. That's the sort of luck you need when you're in that position. They're 64 points in 3rd on 36. However, Chelmsford, as I said, have a game in hand behind them who can overtake them if they just draw. Massive win for Welling this. As I said, Weston, however, deep trouble they're in. They've got to be all but down. I'm not sure how long it is before they can officially be relegated, but it's got to be soon. It's not a good result for them. Their fan, I feel sorry for them. Their fans they're a nice fan base. They've got a nice, passionate fan base who travel all over the league. They've got some nice flags as well. Interesting flags they always bring as well. Decent fans as well, as I've said. I feel sorry for them, but it looks like they'll be dropping into the Southern League South for next season. Final game of the weekend and another massive upset in the title race as Woking lost 1-0 at home to Slough. This is absolutely huge in the title race. It's a gutting loss for Woking, a massive win for Slough, but not that I have much to play for, but it was a massive win to sort that away from them, which was let them down and let the chances down getting into the playoffs, even though a mid-table finish they'd have taken. Francis Amati got the only goal of the game for the Rebels as they took the lead in the 20th minute and they managed to hold out. In all honesty, it wasn't a really much an entertaining game. Woking failed to register a shot on target, and that goal from Slough was the only shot on target that either side scored. Woking, it's obviously knocked them off the table, and the strike was enough. Dawson, the former Hampton manager, was fuming at it. He said that the build-up there was a foul, and he was complaining there was a foul in the build-up. But however, 2,500 were packed out. It was a cracking attendance, you got to admit. But even though at this level, Marty's goal was enough to give him the lead, start the points. Woking are now in a real bad position here if they want in the race for the title. They're now in 2nd, a point behind Torquay, haven't played a game more. The 2 points behind Torquay, haven't played a game more, sorry. They're on 36, Torquay on 35 on 75 points. Slough's win has put them into 11th on 51 points, 7 outside the playoffs. It's not out of it, but it's very unlikely. But they'd be happy with where they are at this point in the season. They've taken this before the season starts, being newly promoted, and they've done really well, as Baker and Underwood. They're cracking managers, they are the two of them. Woking, however, this is massively disappointing for them. They'll be gutted with this. And it looks as though the title race has gone straight into Torquay's grasp now. However, you can't write anything off in this league. It's mental. You never know what could happen. The Chelmsford have got to go to Torquay. You never know. Chelmsford could easily get a result there. It's not off the paper, not on the cards. It's a tricky place to go. But Chelmsford could easily win there because they're a great team. However, this league is mental. You never know what could happen, but it's definitely in Torquay's hands as things stand. And that just about sums up the roundup. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below. Comment anything you have down below, any questions you have, any queries or anything you have. Don't forget to vote for me in the Football Blogging Awards. Links down below via Instagram or just copy my YouTube URL up here into the appropriate columns, anything you think I'm worthy of. Greatly appreciated. Any votes I have, that'll be massively appreciated. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next video. I'll be doing will be the National League South predictions on Friday or Thursday. I do believe it'll probably be Thursday. I'll film it on Thursday and I'll probably have it up for you on Friday. Then I'll do my vlog of the Hampton Hungerford game on the Saturday. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.